Hello friends. So welcome to the day 2 of 10-day CISSP challenge. And for today, our challenge is to complete the domain 1, that is security and risk management. So this particular domain of CISSP, security and risk management, covers multiple topics, multiple subtopics, and we can say this is the biggest domain of the whole CISSP. But as per the CISSP challenge, what exactly our aim for this particular challenge is to understand the topic. Because once we understand the same, then we go to any particular book or open any particular book and then start studying that particular topic. Then it will be very easy for us to understand the concept given in that particular book. Because once we study the book, we go with the flow as per the author uh, thoughts and visions, right? But when we have the concept, we have the understanding of the exam, of what exactly the CBK of the exam want us, right, to understand and to answer in the exam. Then it will be very easier for us to understand the concept in the way the examination body wants us, right? So that is the main concept of 10-day CISSP challenge. So in this second day, our aim is to cover the security and risk management domain of CISSP. So today we are going to cover the concept of topic takeaways, which we discussed in our first video also, but today we are going to discuss the same in more detailed way, and we will see some examples of the same. Then we will see the topics of domain 1. Then we are going to check what exactly takeaways are there within those topics are. Then finally we will check what are the type of the questions for each takeaways. So today we are going to take only different types of the questions, and then tomorrow, and as we progress, then we keeps on adding the same, right? So that's what our plan for today is. Let's see how much we are able to complete within this particular 1 hour time frame. Okay, so let's start with the concept of topic takeaways. Whenever you study any particular book and you take a particular topic, within that particular topic itself, there are some terms available, there are some concepts available, there are some examples of any particular thing, and sometimes there are some processes, procedures, and you can say phases of a particular process, right? So we call them as topic takeaways, because ultimately whenever we are going to sit in the examination, then whatever the questions we are going to get, those questions will be based on those topic takeaways only, right? And whenever you are going to study that particular topic, and if you are able to pinpoint that these are the takeaways of this particular topic, similarly whenever you are going to sit in the exam and whenever you are going to answer any particular question, right, at that moment of the time you can pinpoint that, oh, this particular question is based on this particular topic takeaways, right? And then ultimately you can easily answer that particular question. So I have taken two examples here. In the first one, right, I'm just studying out the question and the answer, the options available. A practicing CISSP may face an ethical conflict between his or her company's interest and the ISC square code of ethics. According to the ISC Square Code of Ethics, in which order of priority should ethical conflicts be resolved? So, what is the topic takeaways in this? Okay, give a thought to yourself. Some of you will tell me that it is about the ISC Square Code of Ethics. Okay, again, check out the answers, the options also in this. Due to principles, professional, public safety, and individuals. Due to public safety, principles, individuals, and professions. So you are seeing that the things are, it means repetitive in some of them. Either I can say some of the things are coming in advance, in front end. It means the sequence is only changing, right? So if you go in detail and if you have already gone through this particular topic, then you can easily pinpoint that this particular question is majorly based on the sequence, the process sequence, which is given in the ISC Square Code of Ethics. So the topic here is ISC Square Code of Ethics, but the takeaway here is duty to public safety, principles, individuals, and professional. The sequence of these ethics, right? So this is what we call as topic takeaways. Okay, like in the second question also. What is the minimum and customary practice that constitutes and responsible protection of information assets that affects a community or societal norm, right? So if you have already gone through the concept of due diligence and due care, is a language difference only. If you check it, if you change this particular language to normally, then it is a prudent man rule itself, and you can say this is due care, right? So here the takeaway is due care. It means your understanding of the definition of due care. So according to this, the once you have the understanding of topic takeaways, then automatically you can it means the type of the questions on a particular topic takeaway can be very limited, very limited. I can either categorize into 4, 5 or 6 categories, not more than that, right? So like the definition, how we are going to use the same, that particular thing, and what exactly the process will be, right? And what exactly the implementation and where exactly we can implement the same. So these kind of the questions can only be there on that particular topic takeaways. So if you have this understanding that out of this topic, I need to take 5 takeaways, right? So if you have this understanding of those 5 takeaways, and whenever you are going to touch the book, in the book, whenever you are going to touch that particular topic itself, then your mind understanding will be totally different, right? So it will think in a different direction now, because you know from this particular topic this is the important thing. Now, as I already told you that from this particular question, the takeaway is the sequence of these, right? So whenever you are going to study the book again, then you will give more emphasis on the sequence of these. Prior to this, if you're not having the idea what exactly those takeaways are, then what exactly you will do, you will just study the concept, you will just study everything, but maybe the concept is not important from that, okay? And or maybe you will not get question directly on that. Now you need to understand the sequence of the same, right? So that's how uh, I have taken this concept of topic takeaways. So if you list down every topic takeaways in like, okay, let's start and move further, then automatically in the coming slides you will understand the what are the topic takeaways in different topics, and then we will discuss on those further, right? Okay. So in this domain one of CISSP, security and risk management, in total, it can be further divided into 12 topics, which are given by the CBK of by ISC square, right? So these, let's understand these 12 topics and then the takeaways in those topics. And then what are the categories of this? For this, I'm using a mind map, right? So I think in this session, mostly our classes will be mostly based on the mind maps. So this CISSP domain 1, security and risk management, as we already have seen, it is having 12 topics. So in each topic, there are some subtopics or takeaways. So we need to understand those, right? So the first one is understand and apply concept of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But in within this particular topic itself, I need to understand that what exactly information security is, right? I also need to understand what is a CIA triad and what is a Parkinson hexad. Okay. With this, in CIA triad itself, my takeaway should be confidentiality. It means the definition of confidentiality, the implementation, the controls. Okay, for this, let's have an understanding of these 4 types. So the first type of questions you can get on any takeaway is based on the concept, which is our takeaway, right? Which is, it can be our topic, it can be our subtopic, or it can be the takeaway, right? So first is the based on the concept. Second, how to use that particular concept and when to use that particular concept, where exactly to use that particular concept, right? So that is second type of questions possible on that particular. Third is what exactly the impact or outcome when we are going to use the same, what exactly the impact or outcome of the same, right? And the third one is the process or methodology which we are going to use, or which is it means the concept is based on that particular methodology. It means within that concept also what are the steps are there, right? Risk management, what are the steps in risk management? I can say ISMS, what are the steps for ISMS, right? That like that you can say that this is these types of questions totally depends on the steps of the whole process. Okay, so these are the 4 category as of now we are taking. Okay, and what exactly I have done, the questions which we have grouped together, we have divided them like that. Okay, once we have divided them like this, then automatically these are the takeaways. Okay, so in these takeaways, we have given them a proper color coding. After color coding, we have a proper understanding that these are the topics, these are the important subtopics, and these are the takeaways. Within those takeaways, these are the further things on which the question can directly come. Like if it is a green one means process or methodologies. So it is about authentication factors. What are the different types of authentication factors are there? This is based on the concept. So we can say concept of prudent man rule, concept of due care, concept of due diligence. So here, because of the limited space which I need to show you on a video only, I have given here very limited this categorization, but we have done a complete categorization of each and every topic, each and every subtopic, and accordingly we have divided each and every question, right? So if I mean to say, I'm just taking an example here. If we are going to discuss about information security, then we have categorized all the four different types of questions related to the information security. It means the concept of the information security, how to use information security, when to use information security, where to use information security, and when we have implemented information security somewhere, how exactly the impact of the same will be, and what are the steps of methodology to implement information security in any particular environment. Maybe it can be a sentence type or it can be a steps, right? So this, by doing the same, we are able to cover the 360-degree of this particular information security. Now, in whatever way we will get the question, these are the four techniques via which we can easily answer them, right? That's how we have divided for this particular topic itself. Right. So total we have 63 63 topics in whole CISSP, and now we have 3,000 questions related to those 63 topics. So you can say roughly in each and every subtopics you are going to get 50 questions. Okay. So these 50 questions will cover the whole four defined different criterias. Okay, and they will cover the that particular topic and subtopics within that particular topic itself. Right, by doing and by studying like in this manner, it means whenever you're going to take or touch a particular topic, then you are able to get the mind maps like this, and then touching the important terms using Quizlet, and then finally touching the questions of that particular topic. So if you just take focus on a particular topic itself, then topic by topic, you are building the whole domains, and domain by domain, you can cover the whole CISSP. So the base concept here is divide everything, divide till the last important term, and then to that particular important term, check what are the different types of questions available for that particular important term till in different scenarios, what are the important terms. Once we have those important terms and scenarios with us, then automatically we can say from this particular topic we can get these type of 10 questions. Okay, those 10 questions, then now whenever you are going to study that particular topic also in future, then automatically your mind will also think in those directions also, which previously it was not thinking. That was the whole concept in this particular uh, okay. So I'm going to take each and every understand and apply concept of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So in this particular topic, we need to know about information security, the CIA triad, about confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and also the limitation of the CIA triad. Most of the people are missing this particular thing, but I have seen some of the questions coming from this particular sections also. Then is a Pakistan hexad. So Pakistan hexad, we need to understand the CIA triad. With CIA triad, I also need to understand about authenticity, utility, possessions, and control. Then the second topic is evaluate and apply security governance principles as per the CBK. So in this particular subtopic, I need to understand about the element of the security functions to business functions. But I need to understand the business functions like strategy, goals, missions, and objective. But exactly the meaning of those. And then I need to think in my mind how exactly I can align my security functions with the business goals. Okay, To do the same, I also need to understand about the vision of the company, the mission of the company, and the strategy. So the definitions and what exactly the implementations of those will be, like short-term vision, long-term vision, short-term strategy, long-term strategy. Then the governance. It means here governance means the overall governance of the whole company. Okay. Then the due care and due diligence. I'm going to take a few examples of this later on about the but we have seen different types of questions available to them. But I'm just going through the topics and this takeaways. In determine compliance requirements, it means the legal part we need to cover legal compliance, what is required in any particular company, judge the jurisdictions, the legal traditions, the legal compliance expectations. So all these we need to cover in this particular subtopic of determine compliance requirement. Then to cover, understand legal regulatory issues that pertain to information security in a global context. So here we need to think every security aspect in a global context. So for the same, I need to cover the cyber crimes and data breaches. The same can be divided into two: the traditional criminal act, which will cover the fraud, fencing, stolen goods, cyber extortion, pornography. Then the second is a computer as a target. In the same we have multiple, right? So and in those multiples also, so these are the takeaways. Normally we are missing them. Normally we are not giving them more emphasis on this, but in the exam you will get a question on them, right? So our main emphasis till now is about cybercrime and data breaches, but we also need to know what exactly hacktivism is, what exactly doxing is, what exactly a WikiLeaks means, right? So these are the takeaways. Then in the privacy we have some takeaways. Okay, I will take that later on. First I'm focusing on these only. Then understand and adhere to and promote professional ethics. So in this we are having three: ethical decision making, how to make an ethical decision, then established standard of ethical conduct, and finally ISC square ethical practices. So within this itself we have further subtopics which is I have not added here because of the limited space in the video sections, but I have given a detailed one in the final this mind map. Then the develop, document and implement security policy, standard and procedure and guidelines. So here I need to understand what exactly the organizational documents are. What are the different types of document, like the policy document, the standards, the procedure, the guidelines, and the policy development, and how to develop those policy. And finally, see how to review those policy. Then we have identify, analyze, prioritize, continuity, requirement. So in this one, how to develop a scope and how to plan for plan a scope document. Then how to do a risk assessment, how to do a business impact analysis, how to develop the business continuity plan. And finally, in the next topic, contribute to and enforce personal security policy and procedure. I need to understand about the key control principles. Okay, like list privilege and all those I need to cover here. Candidate screening and hiring, the whole process end to end, onboarding and termination process, then vendor consultant contractor agreements and controls like SLA, NDA. Okay, then privacy in the workplace. Finally, we in the last, I can say, understand and apply management concept. I need to understand about the risk, the definition of risk, what are the different types of risk, right? Then the risk management frameworks, what are the different types of risk management frameworks, and even I need to understand what are the mitigation strategies available for risk management. Then finally, risk assessment methodology I need to understand. Then understand and apply threat modeling concept. I need to know what exactly threat modeling is. Then I need to understand the methodologies which are available for threat modeling. Then I need to know how exactly we can apply risk management concept to the supply chain. So for the same, I need to understand what exactly supply chain is, what are the risks associated to supply chain, and also finally how I can manage those risks. And in the last topic, that is establish and maintain a security framework, awareness, education, and training program. So I need to understand what exactly security awareness means. Also, I need to understand how exactly I can develop a security awareness program. And finally, the training. So now let's take the type of the questions which we can get. Okay, I'm taking one by one. I'm taking the prudent man rule, due care, and due diligence. So the here is yellow color. Yellow color here means the concept. So if this is covered with due care and due diligence takeaway. So whenever we are going to touch this particular topic of evaluate and apply security governance principles, then give more emphasis to due care and due diligence and the concept of the same, because you will get questions either on the it means either on the due care concept of due care, or on the concept of due diligence, or on the concept of prudent man rule. So you need to understand these three terms within this particular topic itself. Then further, I'm going to take the next one, legal compliance expectation. So whenever you are going to touch the topic of determine compliance requirement, then in that particular case, in the subtopic or the takeaway is legal compliance expectation. So whenever there is any legal compliance expectation, then you need to understand what are the different expectations, like expectation in the case of DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act, what exactly this law act is and what exactly the expectations or where exactly it can be implemented. So if we check with the color of this, so it is based on the impact and outcome. So where to implement it and what exactly the impact of the same is. Like for the DMCA Act, what exactly the outcome of the same once we implement DMCA somewhere, what exactly the GDPR, the basic concept of the same, what exactly the impact of those when we are going to implement GDPR is, what exactly Graham Leach Billy Act, GLBA, FISMA, HIPAA, PCI DSS, US control export control laws, like for the I can say this encryption based that from US whenever it means for certain countries the US export control law prohibit to sell the cryptographical encryption techniques to some of the countries, like so that's once we implement what exactly the impact of the same will be. So here in this particular we will cover the same. Then in the subtopic computer as a target, so there are so many takeaways we have taken, but in those takeaway I need to understand the different types of attacks, like attacks on the wireless network, attack against computer, like elevation of privileges, or we can say DDoS attack, ransomware, Smurf. So I need to understand these terms also in this particular topic. Then in the privacy, I need to understand about the PHI, the PIIs, personally identifiable information, personal health information, then the patents, trade secrets, trademark, what exactly the impact of those will be. Then I need to understand the concept of risk. I need to understand the mitigation strategies. I need to understand the type of the controls. Then qualitative and quantitative risk assessment techniques. And finally, about the step section, or I can say the process section, I need to understand about the steps of qualitative and risk assessment. So this is the technique how we have divided the whole questions, 3000 questions into different topics and the takeaways. Then we have finally categorized each and every question depending on these parameters. This is here I have given 4 only, but there are more. They are near about 6 to 7 in total. So these 6 to 7 categories will cover each and every subtopic, and each it means it will cover any particular topic in 360-degree view. So whatever the direction, and even just having the understanding of these category, when you start studying the concept from the book, you will feel a different kind of understanding while studying from the same book. Whatever book you are following as of now, whatever video you are watching as of now, you will feel, because your grasping power, your mind will grasp the things now in this manner. It will try to link the things, the concepts in this way, right? So that is the concept of this topic takeaways. And the whole questions, 3000 questions, are divided as per each and every topic, subtopic. So whenever you are going to touch any particular topic, just cover it end to end. It means topic, you should, before that you should understand what are the type of the takeaways in the same. So in these questions what exactly we have done, we with every topic we have first given a list of the takeaways, like for this particular topic these are the 10 or 15 takeaways. I have not given here complete takeaways, but that is given in the questions already. So Before studying any particular topic, just open that particular question sheet, right? The first sheet is of takeaways. So in takeaways, you will get all the list of those takeaways, okay? And then further, you will get the categories. Now, just study or watch a video of that particular topic. Now, when you are going to test the questions, then you will get that this is the question like in this way. So this is a question. The takeaway is this. So it is already mentioned. The takeaway is this. And in that particular takeaways, these are the kind of the questions possible. These are the different categories of the questions within that particular takeaway. So in this way, we have covered the whole CISSP in 360 degree. Now, if you are going to study in this manner, I assure you that 100% you are going to clear the exam. Okay, but your dedication and strong will is still required. The reason for the same is I'm not telling you to mug up the dumps and then go for the exam. I am telling you to think in the way the CISSP board, it means the ISC square, want you to think. Okay, and because of the same, once you have the understanding of these takeaways and the type of the questions within those takeaways, and with your strong will and your strong dedication, now you have a complete understanding. Because just having a certification is not enough. The knowledge of behind that particular certification is more important. And by studying in this manner, I am damn sure that you will have a very deep understanding of the concepts and also very deep understanding of the overall CISSP domains, all the 8 domains. So wherever in whatever field you will go, easily you can cover the same. But again, I'm going to tell you that whatever you are studying, whether it is domain 1, domain 2, domain 3, whatever topics you are going to study, you need to revise it. Remember the forgetting curve. Okay, so you will just forget the things very fast. So my uh, from my side, I just want to say revise add as much as possible and use different context. Use a video of the same topic, use a book, study the same topic, use mind maps for the same topic, use a quizlet in the same topic, and within same day, if you cover like this, then it will be very easier. And finally, I just want to say that these are the 3000 plus CISP online questions which we have, which are in the set of 10, 20, 30, and 100. Because in the first go, you should only and only cover sets of 10. Once you have a mindset without uh, any break, just do a 10 set question, then move to 20, then finally 30, and then move to 100. So all the questions are already divided in that way. Also, all the questions are divided as per the topic takeaways so that you have a complete understanding. So initially, it means for every topic, for every domain, we have defined into topics. In every topic, these are the takeaway, then the questions, then the varieties of questions within that particular takeaways. So that's how we have divided the whole. So it is $31 in total. So up to you. So if you want to purchase, you can purchase, or you can just watch this video, because tomorrow onwards I'm going to take one questions from each takeaways. I'm not going to take each and every questions and each and every topic. Sorry, I'm going to take each and every topic, but like for this particular, if I have taken confidentiality, so I will take the questions which are related to the concept of confidentiality. I will take uh, I may not take the questions related to this, but I may take the questions. It means either of these 4 category, I will take one and then move to the next one. Because within the video itself, I'm not able to cover all the 3000 questions. But my concept is to tell you that this is the way to study for CISSP is. With this, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you, friends.